Hi there, this is Ranjit and I have the Xiaomi Redmi Note with me, which is the sort of budget phablet device by Xiaomi, and this is being sold in India via Flipkart, and I ordered it via Flipkart and it works out to be about for 9,000 rupees. And actually there are two variants of this Redmi Note. The one I got is the 3G variant. Flipkart is not selling the 4G variant as of now, but there is also the 4G variant, but that costs 10,000 rupees. That is 1,000 rupees more, and that comes with a Snapdragon 400 chipset. But this one sports a MediaTek Octa Core processor. And one thing to note is that here, as you can see on the specs, internationally, the variant of this Redmi Note, some come with 1 gig of RAM, but the one they are selling in India, it clearly states that it has 2 gigs of RAM and it sports a 5.5 inch screen. That's a 720p HD screen. So let's quickly break the seal and let's have a first look at this device. And here we have the phone itself. I'll keep that thing to the side. And it's a big device. It's a 5.5 inch device, and without the battery it is pretty light, but I heard with the battery the weight is significant. So let's see what else do we get. And this looks like the power brick. Yes, it's a USB power brick, and this will be the USB to micro USB cable. No headphones or anything like that. And here we have the manuals in this one, and these will be in English with the warranty info and how to add your SIM cards. And this accepts a full-size SIM, not a nano SIM or a micro SIM, and it gives you a brief idea about the MIUI and how to insert the SIM card. So let's keep these things also to the side, and we also have the battery, which is actually pretty big, and it's a 3100 milliamp hour battery. It's huge. As you can see, it's in this orange color. So let's keep these things to the side and let's have a look at this device itself. And this is not a screen protector. You actually need to take it off. So just peel this off. It comes out really easily, and we'll put in the battery. We also have one here covering the camera, and the camera is a 13 megapixel shooter with BSI sensor, so I'm expecting good quality. And the back is again glossy plastic, so we'll see if it's a fingerprint magnet or not. We have the Mi logo and opening for the speaker. Let's open this up and let's see if we have an indent to pry it open. No, you can open it directly by this. And as you can see, we can add our SIM cards over here, and we can also add a micro SD card. So let's put in this battery. I hope it has a charge so that we can do the first boot for this device. And the battery is massive, and now the phone feels hefty, so the battery is pretty beefy. And let's try to do the first boot for this device. And it sports a 5.5 inch screen, which is a 720p HD screen. Regarding internal storage, it comes with 8 gigs, but as I've told you, we also have a micro SD card slot. And RAM, at least on the box, it says that it has 2 gigs of RAM. And this one is with the MediaTek processor. This is the 3G variant. And the front facing camera is a 5 megapixel shooter. So let it boot and then we'll continue. So this is the first boot screen that we see. We'll just set it up. And we also have a couple of languages. We have Swift keys and Google keyboard. I'll just use that. And let's connect to our Wi-Fi network, and it supports just the 2.4 gigahertz band, not the 5 gigahertz band. And it is connected, it says. So let's hit next. And I did not add any SIM cards yet, so it says we'll just continue, and we'll just enable all these user experience. I'll just disable that. For privacy reasons, I'll hit next, and it says we are done. And this Xiaomi device is run on a custom skin that is known as MIUI. So we don't have an app tray, so all applications are shown over here. It'll be familiar if you have used any Xiaomi device. And let's just, and it already says that we have an update. I'll check that out later on. And if you just hold this one, you can change the wallpapers, etc., add widgets. Widgets are supported. Let's change the wallpaper very quickly. Let's put this colorful one, and it looks like we are done. Let's hit the home and let's apply. Yes, it's done. And initial impressions, the screen quality is pretty decent. Viewing angles are also nice. So looks like Xiaomi did a good job regarding the screen. They didn't skimp out. And another thing to note is that again, the buttons are touch type capacitive button. This is for the menu. This is home. This is for the back. And they are actually slightly backlit, not like the Redmi 1S, where the back buttons were not backlit. So they are backlit. Let's also look at the Android version that we are getting. Let's go to toggles. Let's go to settings. And it's taking some time to load. Let's go to general settings. And if we go to about the device, and it's running on the Android version 4.2.2, which is Jelly Bean. So this is very surprising. We don't get KitKat out of the box. We are just running a very old version of Android, which is sort of surprising. I'm not very sure if Xiaomi will update this one to KitKat or even the Android Lollipop, but 4.2.2 is what you're getting as of now. And as you can see, it also gives us the information, and it clearly states that this one has 2 gigs of RAM and it's running an Octa Core processor, and it says 1.7 gigahertz, but it's divided into pairs. The first 4 pairs are 1.7 gigahertz and the lower cores, I believe, are 1.4 gigahertz. And let's go back and let's look at the storage also. And out of that 8 gigs, the available space that we have, it says, is 5.35 gigabytes. I will add a micro SD card later on and see if the apps are movable to the SD card, because with the Redmi 1S, it was not movable. The apps were not movable to the SD card. So I'll check that later on. And if we just go to the display, go to the brightness, and we have the auto brightness sensor, as you can see. Now I've enabled that. So we do get the auto brightness sensor with this one, and we can change the fonts to, I'll just keep it small. I like keeping it small. So all those options are there, and it's loading the launcher. I'll also try installing the Google Now launcher on this later on and see how it works. And I'll just disable the auto brightness. Oops. Let's also fire up the web browser and see how it does. And let's just go to, let's say, redef. Again, I'm using the Swift key, so you can also opt for the default Google search. It's going, and it loaded it pretty quickly. Let's just hit this, and it loaded it actually very fast. Let's see if I can force it to, oops. If I go to the settings, general, I'll also install the Chrome web browser on this one. Again, let's open up one of the stories. Again, it is loading it very fast, as you can see. Yes, very fast. Let's try some other site, for example, this TechMe. The keyboard also is responsive. Again, it loaded it very quickly. Let's just open up any random story. I would say, like, let's just open this one, and looks like it's going to load it again very fast. So web browsing looks pretty decent. I'll also test it with the Chrome web browser later on when I do my full review. And again, as I told you, the screen quality also is pretty nice. So it looks like it's going to be good. The quality of the screen, I can say, is pretty decent. And these were the apps. Again, they have folders. I saw that lag a little bit there. And these are me specific apps, that is Xiaomi specific apps. And we also have a folder for Google apps, and these are all the Google apps that are pre-installed. So yes, we do also have Chrome web browser that was pre-installed on this device. Again, you got to accept, and I did not sign in with my Google account. I'll do all those things later on. And we also have the Flipkart app that was pre-installed, and the Me Talk. So weather widget. So let's also quickly look at the camera on this device. And before that, let me give you a physical, size comparison. That sports a 5.5 inch screen. I have this LG G3 that also has a 5.5 inch screen. And as you can see, yes, LG G3 is a compact phone. But let's bring out this OnePlus One. And if you see, In the height department, it is almost same as the OnePlus One. And let's look in terms of width, it's slightly wider if you notice, a little bit only. So it's a little bit on the, what do you say, chunky side, I would say, slightly big device. Now let's quickly have a look at the camera. The rear facing camera is a 13 megapixel shooter, and it can also record video in 1080p. That's full HD, and it says, do you want to save the photo location? I don't want to do that right now. And we have the touch to focus, and I have to say it is pretty fast in focusing. There is slightly shutter lag. It's not instant, as you can see. I'll just take some more snap. So instant shutter is not there. It takes about half a second. Delay is there after you hit the shutter. But let's look at these pictures really quickly. And they came out to be really clean. This was blurry, I was just moving. Let's look at the initial shots. Yeah, as you can see, these came out pretty decent, I would say. Again, I'll test the camera a lot more, and the front facing camera is a 5 megapixel shooter. So I'm hoping that it'll be great for selfies also. So I will be testing that later on. So that's it for now for this very quick look at this Redmi Note. If you have any specific questions around this device, do post them in the YouTube comments and I'll try to include them in my review. And if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video.